All right, guys. So we're talking about side controls. You spin this way for me. Just come right-handed. What's up?
Same thing as Monday?
Yeah, a little different. So we're going to talk about lapel chokes today. I want to show a couple of different variations that I like to play. The first one we're going to do is an arm trapping mechanic that I've been doing forever. My coach calls it the assassin choke or the samurai choke. There's like 30 different names for it. It's a modified bread cutter or paper cutter choke, okay? So I'm going to be inside. We're playing here. I'm assuming everybody understands what side control is at a base level. I'm under the head, knees to the hip. I'm blocking the near side arm. We're in business here, okay? So what I want to do personally, and I'm going to have a little distance here so you guys can see what I'm doing, but I'm always going to have my pressure on when I'm doing this live. I almost always grab this shoulder. I really, really like this grip because I can use my other hand for whatever I want while keeping my shoulder pressure in by getting the shoulder here and rolling. So I'm going to go thumb in to the near side lapel at about just above the belt level. I'm just going to punch this to the floor. Okay, most of the time when I do this, I just let go and I go back to doing something else because I don't want him to focus too heavily on this and start to defend. I just want to get it open. Okay, 99% of the time he's going to try to frame on my head right here, which is great. This is fine for me. So he gets under the jaw. He has a standard frame here. Cool. I'm going to gather this lapel that I opened with about 4 to 5 inches on the end so that if it slides, I still have slack. I don't want to be at the very end in case it pops out. A little bit of slack here. Okay, my goal now is to find his forearm. So what I'm going to do is bring this back and over here, okay? I'm gonna be putting pressure in like this, and generally what I do is exactly here. I turn away and I bring this to here, okay? Once I bring this to here, I'm punching across to feed to my other hand. One of two things is gonna happen. He's either gonna slip his hand all the way out, and I'm gonna have this under his neck, or his hand's gonna be caught in here, and I'm gonna have, here, let me get, sorry. Once it's out, it's weird. Yeah. There, okay. Or I'm gonna be here, where I'm like trapping his wrist, okay, behind the head, like this. Either of these is great. Both of these are fine. We're gonna talk about the trap first. So I've gotten the arm in here, it's not going anywhere, I'm behind the head. For my finish here, I'm gonna keep my pressure. I like to bring my knee to the back of his head, and I'm actually gonna make distance and straighten my arm here, right? I'm doing this behind his head. What this does, his near side arm is still trapped. I'm kind of sitting up talking to you guys. I can go near side attacks, but he can't turn towards me, right? Because I have the crank behind his head. I'm gonna get up tall, had my post here. I need to go palm up and I need to replace my hand. Once I replace my hand, I drop my pressure back in. Okay, just because I don't want him to start moving. For my finish, thumb in, back here. Right, I grab the lapel like a baseball bat. Okay, both hands, pull it tight. I flare my elbow around, his head's gonna pop right through. I don't want to drop this right away. I want to bring my forearm down to his chest. I'm kind of leaning towards his hips, picking his head up, putting my forearm on his chest. From here, I'm just going to sprawl my weight in, get my tap right there. Okay, the same thing works if the hand's not in there. So if the hand pops out in transition and I go to here, everything's the same. I'm just going to get here, but now, you guys can still hear me. But now, when I have this secondary bite, he can defend with the other hand. I have to be aware of this. This is going to come into play later for our Darce setup. But once I get this grip, if I stay low, even if he's framing on my neck here, I can still do that first choke I did. Where I bring this around, I lean away, and then I drop back in to sprawl in. I'm dropping elbow, pulling lapel at the same time. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? This one's always going to be the same. I'm always taking this near side lapel. I'm trying to trap his arm. And if for whatever reason his arm's like behind my head here, okay, cool. I'm just going to feed it into this space and just skip out the middle maybe. Right? I want to get to this. You can do all of this with a simple lapel grip the same way. The difference is I need to reach under to take the slack so it doesn't move. I'm doing the exact same job. They're the same. I prefer this one solely because I have more control. That's really the main thing I'm looking at. Cool? Now, I want to talk about a Darce here, just real quick. I just want to go over it just passively here. So, this lapel, whether it's on the forearm, whether it's not, it doesn't really matter. But what's going to happen is I'm going to be under the head, and I'm going to get to this grip, okay? He's going to come up to frame. When he comes up to frame, I'm going to go up and over his elbow, or as his hand comes up to frame, I'm trying to keep it under my shoulder so I can get it into this pocket right here, okay? There's a world where maybe I'm here and I'm pinning, or I clear and I shove this down to pin, but I need to get his arm here. Okay, so I'm pressured in, he goes to frame, I beat his hand, I shove this down, I get pressure. I'm gonna grab at the back of his tricep and punch down as I pull up on the bottom. Okay, so modified Darce. For a Darce, I'd be shooting through, coming through, punching. For this one, all I gotta do is get under the neck, Grab here, punch, and post. My chest is on his tricep so it can't move, and I'm also punching down on his elbow. And then all I'm gonna do is pull this up and get my bite right there, okay? You can also do a standard Darce grip for this, so I can switch the hand and then do it this way as well, and I'll get my exact same bite. Okay, either direction for the Darce. We just need the lapel, elbow to come across and pull. Does this make sense to everybody? Yeah? Yeah, absolutely. So, one more time on this one. Lapel, always going over. If we trap the arm, we can do the Darce the same way, but most of the time, if we do this, his arm's gonna be here, okay? I get behind his head, I've got my pressure inside, maybe I'm working to get here, whatever. This arm comes across early, okay? I can punch this here, drop my chest on it, and then just pull right here, okay? This choke isn't gonna be as tight because it's not a full Darce, but I can finish right here. If I want a traditional Darce setup, or same mechanics as a Darce, I'm going to switch through, okay? And I'm still doing that thing where I kind of lean here because I'm trying to enter. When I go to enter, he's going to defend. I'm going to grab this and punch down. Chest on the tricep, pull through, get my choke. Just a modified Darce. Any questions? All set? Ready? 1, 2. Thank you guys. Appreciate it, buddy.